going on, Jerome's? So we Minnesota Fighting Vikings fans love us the underdog story, especially at defensive tackle, right? John Randall, the pride of Texas A&I, Kingsville, now apparently Texas A&M. That's how long ago it was. It was A&I instead of A&M, but undrafted, unwanted, had to try it with the Buccaneers. They probably could have had him. It could have worked out, but they wanted him to play linebacker, but he's like, no, I'm a defensive tackle. I'm a defensive lineman. Came here to the Vikings, and the rest is history. One of the greatest, if not the greatest defensive tackle of all time. It's pretty damn good. And us Vikings fans have been just looking for that next high. We're chasing that John Randall dragon, and enter 7th-round pick, Levi Drake Rodriguez. Now, obviously not saying that LDR, Senior Sack, is going to be the next John Randall, but we're not saying that. You know what I mean? That's right. And Levi was a fantastic story coming out of Texas A&M Commerce. Excuse me. Nailed it. He's 24 years young, 6'2", 290. He's actually listed as 6'4" on the team website, except his pro day, he was 6'2", flat. That's how much work that LDR has put in. He's grown 2 inches of height. There you go. But initially was at Southwest Assemblies of God College in Waxahachie. Nailed it. Outside of Dallas. Played football as well as was a catcher on the baseball team. Awesome. Transferred to Texas A&M Commerce. The only time I will ever say, go Lions. And 2 seasons at TAMC, 79 tackles, 24 pressures, 5.5 sacks, 91 PFF pass rush grade his senior season, PFF FCS All-American, also stood out at the Tropical Bowl, had 3 sacks in that All-Star Showcase game. The draft profile, nailed it, LanceErline, NFL.com. Draft projection, priority free agent. Overview, Rodriguez plays with a big hat and a steady motor, but he lacks NFL size and skill inside. He gives good effort on each snap, but spends too much time staying attached to blockers instead of finding quick routes around them. He has decent length for his size, but he doesn't do enough damage with his hands and lacks the short area foot quickness teams will look for in a smaller player. Rodriguez has been a productive player, but the step up in competition feels like it could be too big for him. Baloney. And he was drafted in the 7th round, number 232 overall. And LDR was a great story because he was a guy that the Vikings had targeted throughout the draft process. He was the green sticker guy for the scouts, the ones that they really wanted, and they played patient. And they played the board, and it came out well. And LDR was more like the videos of him getting drafted and his reaction and his family's reaction. They had a gathering at home. It was fantastic, man. Also, what's really great is so Kaylin Kaler every single year she does a profile on a nameless player throughout the draft process, and it goes really in depth. Goes to their hometown, goes really in depth with the prospect. And this year, Prospect X was Levi Drake Rodriguez. So check that out at The Athletic. You'll get some great background on him. Great family, and you realize why he puts in that work. You realize that where the heart and hustle comes from, man. And he indeed is the first player in the building. He's one of the last to leave, and he that's the thing too. Obviously, he has the skill, but that jump from small school is going to be huge. But he's trying to make it up, and he was the first one in the building at college as well. And that's something that fans just love, right? So when a guy is willing to put in the work, when the guy's willing to bust his ass, and he's all heart, all hustle, and LDR certainly is that. And I can't wait until Saturday, first preseason game, because LDR has been getting some work, primarily with the 2s, but a couple snaps with the 1s in sub package. And like if he gets a sack, I feel like he's just going to become a folk hero. Like it's going to be Paul Bunyan, and it's going to be Levi Drake Rodriguez, senior sack, baby. And Brian Flores, as presser on Saturday, was very effusive in his praise of LDR and his usage so far. Really praised his family. They came up and he met them on Friday. So I mean, there certainly is a lot to like. And like we said, heart hustle, first in the building. He's used to being an underdog too. Small school stud, big jump in competition, like we said. In terms of testing, like not exceptionally athletic, although I think that his first step is more underrated. And like we said, did star in the Tropical Bowl with a bunch of other draft hopefuls, and that's one of the reasons why the Vikings, beyond just the scouting work, like he ended up being a 7th round pick. Now, maybe saying that he's going to be John Randall might be too high of a projection, right? So one of the greatest, if not the greatest, heart and hustle defensive tackles of all time. Yeah, we're not saying that he's going to be him, but could he be what we wanted Hercules Mataafa to be? And it just didn't work out for whatever reason. But Herc, coming out of Washington State, highly productive, went undrafted because of, he didn't check all the boxes metrics wise, but he was the heart and hustle guy as well, and you just didn't really crack the Zimmer lineup and be as productive as we wanted him to be. Could Levi Drake Rodriguez fill that role? I think he certainly could. And in terms of, we say this ad nauseum, in terms of guys who can get their own pass rush consistently, the Vikings don't really have that along the defensive line, and you've seen some of the sub packages where Flores has kicked guys like Patrick Jones second, AVG down along the defensive line, playing the 3-tech, 4-tech, 5-tech area on obvious passing downs. And could that be a spot too where LDR and guys like Jaquelin Roy, maybe James Lynch, get in there a little bit more? Yes, I think it certainly could, because it's a passer and get the passer league, and guys that you can trust to be able to get a little bit of pressure on their own, so you don't have to blitz 5-6 dudes every single play. I mean, that does have a lot of value. And is LDR ever going to be a 3-down player in the league? I don't know, but also it's such a sub-package league nowadays that it doesn't really matter. Like Levi Drake Rodriguez could carve out a very nice career as a passing down interior guy, just a dude who wreaks havoc and just brings it every single time he's on the field. That has value. That has a ton of value. But he's got the talent, and he's putting in the work to back it up, and early returns are really fantastic. And again, I can't wait until tons of fans see him on Monday, tons of fans more around the world, since the Vikings' first preseason game is nationally televised. Seeing him against the Raiders and just blowing some stuff up at US Bank Stadium, I think a lot of Vikings fans around the world are going to be like, we are in on Senior Sack. That's right, baby. But your thoughts are our thoughts. LDR making a splash early. Let us know your thoughts, our thoughts. Comment section below. You guys know what to do. Skull production value.